Hey fishermen, Aqua Duelist here, and today I'm giving you guys a Metalfoe deck profile since they got support in the new Blazing Vortex set, and I finally got the cards in after a delay. Figured I'd do a deck profile on it. I absolutely love Metalfoes. They are honestly my favorite, and I think the coolest pendulum archetype that exists in the game. And thinking maybe doing a 60 card variant with some more starters because I'm playing a very spicy build. Just kind of want to, get the most I can out of Metalfoes, advantage wise. So, possible deck profile, in weeks to come. It's an idea. But before I jump into the deck profile, I just want to say, guys, we are so close to 300 subs. So, go ahead, harpoon that like button, harpoon that subscribe button. And, it'd be awesome and it would really just helps the channel out overall. I would like to get to 300 subs before the end of the month. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. Now, all the Metalfoes, except for one of the new ones, have this scale effect where basically you destroy one other card on the field that you control, and you get to set a Metalfoe trapper spell directly from the deck to your spell trap zone. So, all of them have that except one. And for the older Metalfoes, I'm playing 3 copies of Bismugear here. Effect for this one, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect during the end phase, you get to add a Metalfoe monster from deck to hand. So it gives you another body for next turn or a card for discard fodder. So that's pretty cool. For the vanillas, I'm playing 3 copies of Metalfoe's Steelin, 3 copies of Metalfoe's Silvered, 3 copies of Metalfoe's Gold Driver, and 3 copies of Metalfoe's Volflame. Now, for the new Metalfoes, I'm playing 3 copies of Parametalfoe's Melcaster. And Melcaster has the exact same pendulum scale effect, but its monster effect is if it's on the field and destroyed by Valor card effect, you can add Metalfoe's monster from your extra deck to the hand, except Melcaster, and you just can't activate it or cards of the same name or place it in the pendulum scale for us turn. But that's fine. We're basically using Melcaster here to basically get us one of the pendulums out of the extra deck to the hand, for another body to basically we can just pendulum summon. And then next up, I'm playing 1 copy of Metalfoe's Vanisher. Now, Vanisher's kind of weird. It's kind of like a main deck Mithrilium, just not as good. That's how I feel about it. The only really good thing about that's better than Mithrilium is the fact that this actually banishes. So that's kind of cool, but it's also the black sheep because its pendulum effect's a bit different. So with this one, if a monster you control is destroyed by card effect, you can add a Metalfoe's monster from a graveyard except Vanisher. So that's kind of cool. We can get a Metalfoe from the graveyard, and then its pendulum effect is when it's in our hand, monster effect. When it's in our hand, we can target 2 face-up monsters we control, or 2 face-up cards we control, including a Metalfoe's, and then destroy them, and then special summon this card, and we get to target a monster our opponent controls and banish them, or banish it. It kind of sucks that it targets because, it's 2021, but the fact that it banishes is pretty freaking cool, so that's honestly really nice. And that's it for all the main deck Metalfoes, maxing out on all of them except Vanisher, just because, it is a level 9, so we can't pendulum summon it, but it is searchable, so that's pretty nice. Now, going to the spice, this is some crazy stuff here. Playing an insect engine. We're playing 3 copies of Resonant Insect. Basically, if it leaves the field and goes to grave, we can add a level 5 or higher insect from deck to hand. And for level 5s, I'm playing 2 copies of Anteater Eating Ant, which we can special summon this by destroying 2 set spell or traps we control. Remember correctly, it's set. I can't remember off the top of my head. No, so yeah, it's just gotta be 2 spell traps on our side field. So, we can basically summon this, pop it, set a combination, and then use this, basically pop combination and another trap, another trapper spell or a pendulum scale to summon it, get a plus. That's pretty cool. Also playing 2 copies of Printed Butterfly. It's just, basically an insect that can special summon itself, and the fact that it's level 5 matters for another card. And then playing 2 copies of Beatron. We can send a face-up spell or trap we control to the graveyard and special summon an insect, level 4 lower insect from our graveyard. So yeah, we can do some pretty cool things there. And it doesn't, it sound too crazy, but this will flow together all together once we get to the spells. There's a particular spell that I'm playing that really just brings it all in. So going to the spells, playing 3 copies of Super Poly. Super Poly's at 3, and Metalfoes have Super Poly targets, so no reason not to. And this is what really kind of brings the insects back together. Playing 3 copies of Verdant Sanctuary, and there's no once per turn on this. So basically, if a insect is destroyed, we get to add a insect from deck of the same level. So that's why I said the level 5 matters on Primitive Butterfly, Ant. We this basically just allows us to plus even more and get us more stuff for our Metalfoe scales to basically destroy, to just get pluses. That's the whole thing here. So that's what that does. And then playing 1 copy of Metalfoe's Fusion, 1 copy of Full Metalfoe Fusion, and then 1 copy of the new Para-Metalfoe Fusion. This lets us special fusion summon by using up to 1 monster from the hand, field, and or extra deck. It's got to be a face-up pendulum, obviously, in the extra deck, but that's still pretty cool. Really wish it was a quick play. That honestly kind of sucks. This card would be so much better as a quick play, but it's not, sadly. So, but we gotta make do with what we got. I think honestly the new Metalfoe support isn't horrible or anything, but there was some clear choices there that they made with card text that just kind of just makes me go, this they could have made this better. And then lastly for the traps, I'm playing 3 copies of Metalfoe Combination. This basically just lets us, if a fusion monster is summoned, we basically get to summon a Metalfoe from the graveyard. That's a level lower basically, or just level has to be lower. And if it's destroyed, we get to get a Metalfoe from the deck. So this, with Ant, it's just pluses, and then with Verdant Sanctuary, that's plus city right there. It's pretty insane. So yeah, that's it for the main deck now. Going on to the extra deck, I'm playing 2 copies of Metalfoe Mithrilium here. Just, gets basically reoccurs Metalfoes, and you get to basically destroy a card. 2 copies of Metalfoe, Full Metalfoe Alchemist Edward. Basically is a kind of a relinquished. It's pretty cool. Or not relinquished, but the fusion. You guys know what I'm talking about. Thousand Eye, whatever. Then I'm playing 1 copy of the new Para-Metalfoe Zortless, or I just call it Colonel Mustang because, them flame swords, though, they'd be looking pretty cool. So with this, it's got a monster effect of when it's special on the extra deck, target card your opponent controls, shuffle 2 face-up pendulum monsters from your extra deck into the deck, and then you destroy the card. And then if it's in the monster zone destroyed, you place it in the pendulum scale, and then its pendulum scale is face-up monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect. You can target a face-up monster on the field, one face-up card on the field and destroy it. So that's pretty freaking cool. We get to, just destroy more stuff. Pretty nice. And going on to the Super Poly targets, I play 1 copy of Metalfoe Crimsonite Alphons. one copy of Metalfoe's Andromenite, and then just for the spice and the funniness, one copy of First of the Dragons. Like, I've just always loved this card, and it's not often we get a deck that we can just play it in, so I just had to play it. And that is it for the fusion monsters. Now, going on to the Link monsters, playing one copy of Link Spider, one copy of the new Heavy Metalfoe Amalgam, Amalgam. I butchered that name. So it requires 2 Metalfoe monsters, so it's not like generic like Electromite was. I mean, it's just kind of like bad Electromite. It's how I see this card. The arrows are kind of nice though, especially with the effect, which is if it's sent from the field from the monster zone to the graveyard. By card effect, you can activate one of these effects. Target Metalfoe's monster you control, equip this card to it, and then it gains 1,000 attack. That's not why we're using this at all, and that's probably never going to come up. The other effect, which is why we're playing it, is you can target a Metalfoe's monster you control, destroy it, and then special summon this card, and you can only activate this effect once per turn. Use this effect once per turn. And that's pretty cool because it gives us 2 arrows pointing left and right that we can, just pendulum summon more stuff into from the face up in the extra deck. So that's pretty nice. And for the last link, I'm playing one copy of Insector Pycophalania to help just kind of recycle the insects, and that draw one is pretty nice. For XCs, I'm playing one Baguska because going first it's really good. One copy of Tornado Dragon because it's a good staple. One copy of Abyss Dweller. It's actually pretty solid right now, I feel. And then one copy of Gaga Cowboy to burn for a game. So that is it for the Metalfoe's deck profile. I hope y'all really enjoyed this. Like I said, maybe a 60 card variant with just more starter cards to really just take advantage of this deck. And it's like the insect stuff's really cool. It's unique and it's fun. Like you can get insane pluses on it. But yeah, guys, go ahead and harpoon that like button, harpoon that subscribe button, and don't forget to comment any comments y'all have. Don't forget to also follow me on Instagram, guys. Link in the description of that down below if you guys want to follow me there. Check out some pretty cool stuff. What am I doing when in between making videos and work? Working on stuff, kind of like behind the scenes and just all that cool stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video.